Hello, my name is Heraclito, and that's my second video to my YouTube channel in English. I'm trying to achieve a broader audience in English, and today I'm going to talk to you about ReZero. ReZero is an anime, it's a Japanese cartoon. In my doctoral degree in psychology, I'm studying anime. Uh, in the perspective of Jungian psychology. I've been studying Jungian psychology for the past 20 years. And I'm going to talk a little bit of my research. My research is about isekai. Isekai it's a term in Japanese that means another world. In isekai anime, usually a protagonist is somehow transported to a different world, a magical one, and his life changed a lot, of course. Well, the protagonist, in this case, Subaru, he's transported to a different world, a magical one, with kingdoms and magic and fantasy races, and he immediately assumes that he has some powers and that he's the chosen one. But it's a little bit different from what he expects. Of course, he has a power and immediately meets a girl named Emilia, a half elf with silver hair that is running for queen in this particular kingdom. And Subaru falls in love and try his best to help. He soon discovers that his power is return from death. He dies and then return to a saving point, like a video game. But different from a video game, he suffer. He feels pain and fear when he dies and anxiety, and that dying over and over again start to make him a little bit unstable and crazy. And of course, in the beginning, he doesn't know how his powers work. So he started to wonder, whoa, if I die more than 4 times, will I will be die dead forever? He doesn't know, he doesn't understand his powers at all. And uh, he started to develop a relationship, a close relationship, a friendship in the beginning with Emilia. And he started to act strange because he knows things he's not supposed to know. He's very emotional about things that people around him don't understand. Because why are you like that? Because in one of his lives, he died because of some events involving some persons and etc. So that starts to alienate him from people. Even Emilia starts to think, what's going on? Why are you acting so strange? And when he tries to tell people, he feels a dark, shadowy hand pressing his heart. And when he finally says to Emilia that he has the power to return from death, Emilia is immediately killed by the same hand, the same shadowy hand. So this power comes with this secret. It's impossible to him to explain to anyone about his powers. What alienated him from people, especially from people that he likes. So, Jung talked about secrets in two of his books, The Practice of Psychotherapy, and in one of his seminars about dream interpretation. In Practice of Psychotherapy, a very, very important book, he explains about the historical phase of psychotherapy. That historical phase also represents phase in actual psychotherapy, modern psychotherapy, when one-on-one an analyst, a psychotherapist, and a patient are in the process. Okay, that first phase is confession, and historically corresponds to the first theory of Sigmund Freud. The first theory of Sigmund Freud concerned neurosis, especially hysteria. It was not a psychosexual theory, but a trauma theory when the patient had an unconscious trauma, and when in the influence of hypnosis, he remembers and says out loud that trauma, the moment that causes his symptom, that symptom disappears. For example, the patient zero of psychoanalysis, Berta Pappenheim, Anna O. One of his many symptoms was hydrophobic. She couldn't drink water. So, not Freud, but it's important to say that Freud never treated Berta Pappenheim, but his older doctor friend, oh my god, Bloiler. Okay, Bloiler, or Breuer, I guess. I'm just a little bit confused. Okay. Use hypnosis, which was being used in France, in Paris, by Charcot and Pierre Janet. And under the influence of hypnosis, Berta remembered the day when he was very young and saw his babysitter giving to a very ugly dog his own cup to the dog drink water, after saying that she could drink water normally. So, what Jung realized about the many examples in the description of the study on hysteria from Freud and Breuer is that you have, like Pierre Janet once explained, some unconscious fixed ideas that even being unconscious, they cause symptoms. And when you can say about that, that symptoms disappears. And he realized some very interesting thing. And Freud discovered a basic functioning in the soul, in the psyche, and the same basic functioning that allows hysteric women or people in general to say out loud some secret, some sin, and then recover is in the basis of Christian Catholic confession. And he called this stage of confession, and started to think about the effects of secrecy. He studied secrets and get to very interesting conclusions. The first one is that an individual secret works like a poison in your mind, because does exactly what happens with Subaru. Alienates you from people you love, isolates you from your ambient, for society, and makes you feel utterly alone. And that causes a lot of symptoms. And when you can confess that to a priest or to a psychologist, you can be released of the pressure of the symptom. For example, in the anime, in Re:Zero, Subaru met with another witch, and that witch, being a godlike being, he can say to her, without fear of killing her, that he can return from death. And in that moment, he cries a lot and have a lot of physical sensations. That what Sigmund Freud and Breuer called catharsis, That's a Greek term used in Aristotle Poetic to describe the moment when you have a strong emotional experience by watching play. And through the actors, you live that experience and is relieved by the pressure. So Sigmund Freud used that term, catharsis. And Jung realized that when you have this kind of secret, it slowly degrades your mind and your relationships and start to create physical symptoms and psychological symptoms. And when you are able to say out loud to another human being that secret that are and the secret is unconscious causing the symptoms, you can get rid of the very symptoms. So he called that the phase of confession. Of course, when he states the relationship of a Catholic Church confession and the psychotherapy phase of confession, he's not saying that they have a direct historical link, but a link on the background of the psyche, on the rational root of the mind, in the unconscious collective functioning of the soul. So Freud discovered this kind of religious functioning that is related by its irrational root to the Catholic Church confession. So you see, Subaru have this terrible secret and this amazing power, and this power gives him an edge, but also creates a lot of pain and anxiety and stress, and he is unable to explain to others what is happening to him. And people realize that he is keeping them at distance and that alienate, for example, Emilia from Subaru because she likes him and you'd like to understand what's going on. And the fact that she does not understand causes her suffering and further alienates her from Subaru. The other aspect of the secret that Jung realized is that a collective secret is something very good. And he studied the private religion in ancient Greece, the Eleusinian secrets, that everyone hold that secret. And when you have a collective secret that works as an anchor, that it's a barrier against assimilation from the collective unconscious or from the collective of the society, massification. So this kind of secret, it's a great secret, it's a good secret. The kind of secret that Subaru has in the anime, it's a poison to the mind. It's a terrible secret. So it gives him psychic suffering, neurosis. He only have some peace of mind when Remu, one of the maids from the mansion where he lives, accept him and in a way that she says, I love you. And I know that you have a secret. I know that you can tell me, but I love you anyway. That kind of relationship, it's very similar to the transference relationship that happens in a process of psychotherapy. And that kind of empathy, that kind of acceptance have a very and unique curative power. Okay? And then you can see all that aspects that Jung discussed in this anime, in this isekai. I have a lot of theories that I will discuss in my doctoral degree about isekai, anime, and shounen anime. But I guess that one, it's one that I can talk more easily to a broader audience. Okay, well, that's it about ReZero, about anime. I really studied anime. I'm going to be doctor in anime. And that's it. If you like it, please subscribe and activate notifications and all that stuff. Heraclito from Brazil, and é nóis.